Anomalais has been my home for the past 20 years, and I have been studying elephants for the past 12 years. We notice a lot of conflict between people and elephants in this landscape. We thought we should actually address this, as it is one of the prime conservation issues here.
I first met Anand 3 years ago when I was working in BR Hills. He mentioned about a project he was thinking of starting, which looked at interactions between elephants and people. It sounded really interesting, so I came here for a few days to take a look. I've been here since then.
People are very tolerant of elephants. They actually love elephants. But what they fear is for their own safety, which is a legitimate demand. If you look at this landscape, people have been living here for the past 120 years. This may appear to be a long time to humans, but for elephants, it isn't much. They have seen the landscape changing from undisturbed forests to fragmented patches. 120 years is too short a time for elephants to adapt to such a dramatic change.
We can't ask people to leave this landscape because they are dependent on tea and coffee plantations for their survival. At the same time, we cannot expect elephants not to come into plantation, not to use these plantation areas, because it's part of their range, it's part of their home. So the only way is that how best that we can actually coexist with elephants. Here, the loss of life is the primary reason of conflict, which is very traumatic. We thought we really need to understand how these deaths occurred. So that's the most important. Under what circumstances a person died.
120 years ago, this area was covered in pristine rainforest. And then with human interference, this place was converted into tea and coffee plantations. This left behind small, tiny fragments of forest, which is still used by elephants. During the day when activity is quite high, the elephants prefer to stay within these forest fragments. And once the noise dies down after work, people also return back to town to do some purchases and things like that. And that is the time that elephants actually start moving out of these fragments to go to the next fragment. And they use these paths, which is also used by the people. And on such occasions, it's all mostly a surprise encounter where people are not aware of where elephants are. And when they realize they are really close to elephants, it's too late. Similarly, the elephant is also a little scared. Out of self-defense, they charge if the distance is too close. And this is when people get killed.
So there are about 39 people who lost their lives between 1994 and now 2013. And out of 39, 35 people did not know that they were elephants. So there was absolutely lack of information about elephant presence was the key reason. If they were informed, all these 35 people would have been served, would have been alive.
We started tracking elephants in plantations to understand their behavior. Once we had an idea of their movement patterns, we began informing people directly. But we couldn't reach out to many people by this word of mouth method. When we were thinking of ways to be more effective, one of the managers of a tea estate came up with the suggestion of using cable TV to reach out to people. Many people were already watching Valparai television channel back then. So this was a great way of communicating elephant location information to all of them. Every day after 5 o'clock in the evening, we displayed a crawl with the locations of elephant herds. With these daily location updates, we were hoping that people wouldn't accidentally encounter elephants. The cable network was a good start, but over a period of time, people switched over to satellite television. The viewership for cable TV dropped. Luckily, at the same time, mobile phone connectivity in these hills began to improve. We noticed that everybody had phones, especially workers, particularly women. We thought this is the best way to reach out to people of Valparai.
So we started exploring options. And one of the things we found and we thought could be useful to us was the bulk SMS service that was being provided. So we looked around and we found this providers by name Gupshup Enterprises, and they helped us set up an account and they taught us how this thing works. NCF has been working with all the tea estate companies here for a long time. And so we would go meet the managers, explain to them what was our intention of doing this. They would give us an appointment where workers would assemble together at one place at a particular time every day for the weighing of their tea and things like that. So everyone were at one spot, so it was much easier for us to go there and talk to them, explain to them what exactly we're trying to do. At first, yeah, they were a little skeptical about it. They were like, who are these people? Why they're taking our phone numbers? Will we be harassed by phone calls and things like that? We assured them that they will not receive any phone calls from us regarding this. It will just be SMS and it would be communicated to them via English and Tamil. So that was also one of their concerns. They're like, we don't know to read English, so what are you going to do about it? And we said, we will be sending it in Tamil as well.
இப்போ எஸ்எம்எஸ் வர்றதுனால தான் எங்களுக்கு வந்து இப்போ யானையினுடைய மூமெண்ட்டே தெரியுது.
இல்லை மெசேஜ் வர முன்னாடி பார்த்தீங்கன்னா எங்களுக்கு யானை எங்கே நிற்கிது அப்படிங்கிறது ஒன்றும் எங்களுக்கு அவ்வளோவா தெரியலைங்க.
எஸ்எம்எஸ் அலர்ட்டு அந்த மாதிரி எல்லா ப்ரிகாஷன்ஸ் முதல்ல கொடுத்துட்றாங்க.
கரெக்டாக 5:30க்கு எங்களுக்கு அது வந்துடுது, மெசேஜ் வந்துடுது. அப்போ நாங்கள் நைட்டு ஓட்டுறோம். நைட்டு ஓட்டும்போது இந்த இடத்துல எனக்கு யானை நிற்கிது, கொஞ்சம் பார்த்து கவனம் போங்கன்னு சொல்லி மெசேஜ் வரனால எங்களுக்கு நல்ல ஒரு இந்த மெசேஜ் வந்தனால எங்களுக்கு நல்ல ஒரு திருப்திகரமாக வண்டி ஓட்டுறதுக்குலாம் கொஞ்சம் சந்தோஷமாக இருக்குது.
இந்த எஸ்எம்எஸ் ஒரு சிஸ்டம் இருக்கிறதுனால உண்மையை சொல்லப்போனால் ஒரே வரியில் சொல்லணுன்னா நிறைய உயிர்கள் காப்பாற்றப்பட்டிருக்கு.
We realized that early information network was something that was very crucial to start up. So we looked at it via what are the ways that we can actually reach out to the people. One was through local cable TV channel. The other one was through bulk SMS. So looking at these two things, the cable TV channel covers for the people who are already at home. The bulk SMS is for people who are already traveling. But there are situations where the network fails, there are situations where there is no network. And if you look at it, the number of deaths that have occurred, most of them have occurred when people have been walking back home from the bus stops. We thought, okay, why not have something that will immediately grab person's attention? And we wanted to put it up in strategic locations which are targeted primarily for the people who walk from the bus stops back home.
We went around asking people what kind of visual clues could help them. A watchman at the AirPod factory described an incident which inspired us to set up flashing lights as a warning system. This incident took place around 4 o'clock in the morning near the factory. One of the residents of Ayarpadi was returning home by bus. He got off and started walking down towards his house close to the factory. At the same time, the watchman also saw some elephants walking up towards the direction of this man. The watchman started flashing his torch to alert the person. On seeing the flashing light, the person realized that there were elephants close by and he turned around. Elephants walked up, crossed the road and moved away. If the watchman had not used his torch, there would certainly have been a fatal incident. After hearing this story, we realized that flashing lights could be a great way of warning people who did not have access to SMS network.
Most of these fatal encounters that occurred happened when people were walking home from the bus stops. So we thought it'll be good to have these lights put up in such locations where there's maximum visibility and it will benefit the people who are walking home. People returning home late at night could see these lights and take necessary precaution.
ரெட் லைட் எரியுது, யான் அந்த பக்கம் நிற்குதா, இந்த கருமலைக்கு பச்சைமலைக்கு பாடல் நிற்குதா, சரி ஓகே, நான் பார்த்து சரி ஓகே.
These lights primarily mean to say elephants are within a kilometer radius, and that is what we wanted the people also to realize. And it's a very simple system actually. It works via a GSM module. So it has a SIM card and you can register phone numbers to it. About 3 numbers can be registered. And what we thought was it'll be good if 2 people from the local community residing in that area, the proactive people, the ones who get information about elephants, we wanted to select such people, but we did not want to pick up those people. We wanted the community, the group itself, the people living there, to choose someone among them. So within a month of installation of any of these lights, they started doing it by themselves. Gradually, about 4-5 months down the line, they started taking it up completely by themselves. Now in a year, maybe we just switch on the lights maybe 5 or 6 times in a year.
In a fragmented landscape like Valparai, people and elephants have to live together. People are dependent on tea and coffee plantations for their livelihood, and at the same time, 80 to 100 elephants use this landscape. So there is no other choice other than coexisting with each other. We have done our best to bring down accidental encounters, which has been the biggest issue here. But there is still so much more to do.
People of Valparai have a very simple lifestyle, so it's very important to have a very simple system which they can use easily, and Bulk SMS initiative just does that. Because of this, it gives them a my message attitude, so they are really into it, where they share information with us as well as among their other friends and family as well. The good thing about this project is that, unlike most other conservation issues that many people address, here you get to see the results the very same day. By the end of the day, if no one is dead, if no damages are there, then it's a success that very day. So when I meet people on the road and when they ask for messages, when they want to register for it, it's a very assuring thing, saying, okay, this system is working. People are really looking forward to this. It's a very satisfactory feeling that you get.
There are no problem elephants in this landscape, but there are problem locations which would require a different approach to address the conservation issue on ground, because coexistence is a journey, not a destination.